YNR spoilers Friday, January 30th. Shocking news, creepy road trip. A&D teach Elong Road TO accountability. The calm before the storm is a well-worn phrase in Genoa City. But this Friday, January 30th, on The Young and the Restless, viewers will learn that the calm itself was an illusion. The day unfolds not with a single, explosive bang, but with a chilling ripple effect, a delivery of shocking news, a journey into unsettling territory, and a long-overdue confrontation with the past. It's an episode that masterfully trades high-octane action for psychological unease, proving that the most terrifying demons often ride in the passenger seat or stare back from the morning paper. The episode's spine is a piece of information so destabilizing it threatens to rewire the circuitry of two powerful families. Victoria Newman, finally feeling a semblance of control at the helm of Newman Enterprises, receives a confidential report that lands on her desk with the weight of a tombstone. It's not about a corporate takeover or a stock plummet. It's personal, biological, and devastating. The findings, linked to the recent mysterious activities surrounding Claire Grace, suggest a genetic connection so improbable and historically fraught that it forces Victoria to reevaluate every interaction, every moment of strange sympathy she's felt for the young woman. This isn't just a spoiler. It's a key clicking in a lock buried decades deep. Victoria's shock is not one of anger, but of profound, disorienting tragedy. The news reframes a villain into a victim, a threat into a tragic figure, and forces the Newman Empire to confront a legacy of collateral damage they never accounted for. While Victoria grapples with this seismic shift in her reality, miles away on a desolate stretch of highway, a creepy road trip unfolds that is less about destination and more about descent. Audra Charles and Kyle Abbott, allied in their ambitious scheming, find themselves on an unexpected journey. What begins as a strategic mission, perhaps to leverage a piece of information or stronghold a potential ally, devolves into something far more intimate and threatening. Their rental car becomes a pressure cooker as they are tailgated by an unmarked, dark vehicle that mirrors their every turn. The tension is amplified by the barren landscape and the crackling silence between them, a silence usually filled with cunning banter. This trip peels back the polished veneer of their partnership. In the face of an unknown, shared threat, their transactional alliance shows its cracks. Kyle's anxiety manifests as sharp, accusatory paranoia. "What did you do, Audra? Who did you piss off?" While Audra's cold control fractures into a visceral, quiet fear she cannot mask. The true horror of the sequence isn't the anonymous pursuer. It's the dawning realization that they are utterly alone, and the person in the seat next to them is just as much a stranger and just as potentially dangerous as the one in the car behind. The road trip becomes a metaphor for their own treacherous paths, glamorous on the surface, but inherently lonely and leading into increasingly dark territory. Meanwhile, in Genoa City, the theme of facing one's actions reaches its apex in a confrontation long in the making. Billy Abbott decides that vague regrets and passive avoidance are no longer tenable. He seeks out Chelsea Lawson, not for reconciliation or rekindled romance, but for something more foundational: raw, uncomfortable accountability. This scene is a masterclass in emotional writing. There are no raised voices, no dramatic slaps. Instead, it's a quiet, painful conversation held in the neutral space of Chancellor Park's bench. Billy speaks plainly, detailing the specific ways his actions, his obsession with chance, his negligence, his emotional abandonment rippled out to damage her, their family, and himself. He doesn't hide behind his addiction or his grief. He owns the choices he made within those struggles. Chelsea, initially defensive and wary, is disarmed not by excuses, but by this unvarnished honesty. She doesn't offer instant forgiveness. That would betray the complexity of her character, but she listens. She allows his words to land. This moment is crucial for both characters' trajectories. For Billy, it's the first real step in a 12-step program of the soul, proving that true recovery means facing the wreckage of your past. For Chelsea, it's a chance to finally be seen not as a problem to be managed, but as a person who was hurt, validating her pain in a way that may finally allow her to truly move past it. These three threads are not isolated. They are expertly woven into a tapestry about consequence and identity. Victoria's shocking news is the consequence of her family's ancient sins coming due. Audra and Kyle's creepy journey is the consequence of a life spent running toward ambition without looking in the rearview mirror at what they've sacrificed. Billy's accountability is the conscious choice to stop running from consequences and instead turn and face them head-on. The genius of this January 30th episode lies in its pacing and atmosphere. It understands that true drama simmers before it boils. The horror of the road trip is in the quiet dread. The impact of the genetic revelation is in the silent, wide-eyed stare as the world rearranges itself. The power of Billy's amends is in the hushed, trembling space between sentences. As the episode closes, Genoa City is altered. Victoria holds a truth that could shatter foundations. Kyle and Audra are still on that dark road, their fate uncertain, their partnership forever changed by shared fear. And on a park bench, two wounded people have, for the first time in years, communicated not as adversaries or ex-lovers, but simply as two humans acknowledging a shared wound. It's not a resolution, but a reset. Friday delivers on the promise of its spoilers with nuanced, character-driven storytelling. The shocking news rewrites history. The creepy road trip exposed character under duress. And accountability provides the fragile, hopeful counterpoint, the only reliable map anyone in Genoa City has for finding their way out of the dark. In a world of constant scheming, this episode reminds us that the most compelling drama isn't about what the characters do to each other, but what they are forced to learn about themselves.